Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Electric Bunny, or Bunny for short. Thank you so much for coming to my channel today, as I have a very special custom for you guys. Today I made a custom of one of my favorite VTubers, Cyyu, or aka Alejandro Sapp, because he is also a voice actor and a VTuber, which is really cool in my opinion. He voices a couple characters I like from a couple games that I play. I think you guys probably know Cyyu from Genshin Impact and Genuine from Honkai Star Rail. I really love playing those games, and especially Honkai Star Rail because I do main Genuine because he is one of my favorites to use in the game. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the custom. So, the doll that I am making is a custom female Cyyu doll. I am using our ball joint doll model that my partner has modeled for me, and as you can see, I have the original doll and what he sculpted on top of it to look like Cyu's model. Because Cyu's model is like a female cyborg. So instead of making clothes, which I don't think would work really well for this doll, he went ahead and sculpted all the stuff on the doll for me. So, and now we could go ahead and get started on working on the dolly doll. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started on the doll. So as you can see here are all my pieces that I printed out on my printer. See, we got all the custom molding onto the doll, which is really cool, and kudos to my partner for making this happen for me because he is super awesome and getting this looking really good. I'm really proud of him for making this for me. So before I string up all these pieces, I actually have to paint them individually. Some of the outfit is black in spots and there's gold pieces. But yeah, so we're gonna go through first and paint all the pieces and add all the details, and then we'll string it because I thought it would be much easier just to do that. Let's go ahead and paint the pieces and then string, so I don't risk anything, rubbing off or getting on somewhere else on the body where it doesn't need to. Yeah. So we are going to do that. And here's the special forearm pieces. The black pieces do look a little rough from sanding the supports off, but that's okay because we're gonna after we're done painting all the pieces, we are going to spray paint like a pearlescent coat on top of all of them except for the face, obviously, to give it that nice like kind of pearl finish to make it look really cool and cyborgy. And here's the face mold, and also all my ball joint dolls now have a special electric bunny symbol on the back, which is really cute. So, let's get started on the doll. Alright, so first we're going to start with the forearm pieces. I'm going to go ahead and paint them in purple. And it does take a couple coats just to get the purple at the opacity that I need it to be, since painting on top of a black piece, so I definitely need to paint it a couple layers of purple. I thought I had a darker purple behind one. And then I thought about doing metallic, but a lot of my metallic purples are very sheer. So, I mean, I'm already going to just spray it with a pearlescent paint anyway, so I didn't think I would didn't use the purple paint anyways, the metallic paint. So for all the gold pieces, I am using my gold chrome paint marker to color paint all the gold spots. And then off camera I go back in and clean it up because I did get some on where it doesn't need to be gold, but that's okay. A little alcohol will clean it right up. But I was really excited to make this custom, and I think she turned out really good. Definitely a lot more of a chiller custom, especially since I didn't have to make clothes. except for a couple clothing items, but I didn't have time to show those on camera. I was going to go see Cyyu at the con that was near me, and I found out he was leaving early, so I didn't have time to show the pieces on camera because I literally finished it all the day of the con, and I was already up all night, and I was like, no, we're just gonna skip some things, so I apologize for that now. I mean, it's just the boot covers and a scarf, which are very simple things that were sewn. They're just rectangle pieces of fabric that I sewed with purple fabric. That was about it. Nothing too exciting. But yeah, I didn't have a lot of time to bring it with, or to finish it on camera. Yeah, and here is how it looks all finished, and we'll let this dry it for, I usually let the paint set for 24 hours just because it's kind of tacky and it will like smudge really easily, so I usually let the paint set for 24 hours before I spray it. And now we're going to do the arm piece. I'm going to paint the like little piece that sticks out gold because that's what it shows on the concept art for Cyyu here. And carefully painted in gold, even though I definitely got the gold all over the place. But that's okay, easy to clean up. And correct myself there. Also, it did not want to focus on my piece, and I do not know why, because I kept focusing it. It didn't want to. But also, with this doll, I was worried about some of the pieces I needed to paint black. Like the top of this arm here, like the shoulder piece has to be painted black, and the neck going down to the chest a little bit has to be painted black, which are spots that have are like the joint pieces. So they're going to be doing, if there's any kind of movement, there's going to be some rubbing. But I think with spraying it with the pearlescent sealer really helped it not scratch it off. I don't think Mr. Super Clear UV Flat Coat would have cut that. And now we're just gonna add the gold paint to the knees because there's a special like knee kind of looking joint on the concept art. That was gold. And now to paint the chest parts. So I don't know why, but I only did a thin line on camera, but later I did thicken up the line because for some reason, even though I was staring at the concept art, I don't know why I was like, yep, very thin line right there. It's actually a little thicker. I think if I would have like maybe had my partner made a joint there between the bust and the torso, bottom piece of the torso, I could have just printed that out in black, but that's okay. We could just do this instead. But carefully, I painted a black line around the bottom of the bust, and then later on I ended up thickening the line because I noticed that the line was thicker. And also I noticed on the artwork there is a black line kind of underneath the bust part. So very carefully, not trying to get the black paint anywhere, painting a line underneath them. Trying to get the camera. I want to. It's icky some days. Want to be more focused on the numbers than anything. Even though I kept adjusting it. Carefully painting the black line. This is so. This part was a little bit. I kind of had to, I guess, imagine myself, because if Cyu's female VTuber, she has a scarf covering her, basically her chest area, So I wasn't sure how far the black part went down also, and so I just kind of painted the top part of the chest and neck area, the black paint, and drew a, I guess I didn't draw, I painted a very thin line between the boba there. Because it looked like there was a line going up between the bust there, but I wasn't sure. I just kind of wung it, I guess. Since there's no pictures without the scarf, so I just kind of had to do my best at guessing what where it goes. Tried. Trying to make it look good. And I'm just gonna paint up the neck here. The black acrylic paint. That should be it for the bust piece. I guess once I do the middle line between the bobas, the big bobas. I did enlarge the bobas for this one because the bobas on the art is actually bigger than the ones of the dolls I've been using. Oh. So now my, oh, also, so that reminds me, the ball joint doll model, once we go to sell it, she will have, I believe it's 4 different bust sizes. So there's a small, a medium, a large, and then extra large boba for you guys to pick from. Also, I have an athletic torso and a non-athletic torso. Eventually, I would like to hopefully have a curvy torso too as well. We'll get there, baby steps. Baby steps, we will get there. Voila, this is how I painted the line between, and it did not want to focus there. Wait, there we go. Yeah. Curve, okay. And after that, we're just gonna, while that's drying, I am gonna paint the top part of the shoulder black to match the artwork, of course. But I sped this up a little. Didn't, while I was editing, it looked a lot faster than what it did. And after the black part is dried onto the shoulder, on the artwork there is then gold lines on the arms, so I'm going to paint the grooves here with the gold paint, the marker paint. I kind of just like dab some of it onto the plastic, because if you use a napkin it kind of absorbs it. So, but if you use like a plastic plate or something, good, doesn't absorb it. But I did that so I could my tiny paintbrush to paint in the lines, the gold line, which this is like sped up. I know it doesn't seem like it. Trust me, I was going very slow painting these. It felt like forever when I was trying to paint them. Any kind of like very tiny detail. Also, my hands like kept shaking while I was trying to do it. I was like, oh, come on. I just want to paint the line. Definitely took a lot longer than what it shows here. I know this is like sped up, but it doesn't, to me it doesn't look sped up. There we go. Have the lines on the arm. And we're gonna let that dry. And also for the legs and hands. This is what I was unsure of what I wanted to do, since the outfit is mostly all white. But I didn't want to leave the grooves on the hands and the legs empty. I tried gray at first, but I didn't really like the gray, like a really light gray. So I decided to use a very light blue. So then I feel like it gives it more of like a glowy effect, especially after I sprayed it with the pearlescent paint. So I wanted to enhance the details, but wasn't sure what color I wanted to use. But I think the blue worked really well. I think it blends in with the pearlescent paint as well. It kind of just makes it look more glowy, more iridescent, like kind of thing going on outfit. It helped. Also, dear God, this was really annoying to do to try to paint the hands because they're so tiny. And like I kept having like trying ever so carefully to paint the lines here. And now back to the forearms. I'll go back over the spots on the forearm that need to be black, like the top part there, and towards the wrist, white. And then I painted a piece with gold. And after these are all dry, now we can go ahead and spray them. And the thigh piece here I had to redo because obviously, as you can see, I got way too much pearlescent paint on one spot and that didn't look good. So we'll fix that. But we sprayed the rest and it definitely worked out as how I wanted to look. And now while I was waiting for the dry, we can work on the eyes. So the eyes are yellow-ish with like shadings of pinks and purples. So I sprayed my eyes with Mr. Super Clear UV Flat Cut, and after that dries, we could go ahead and start putting in pastels on the eyes. So I started adding pink to the eyes, and then purple on the very top. And between layers, I did this a couple times to build it up, and I sprayed it with Mr. Super Clear UV Flat Cut. And then once we got the colors to the pigment that opacity I wanted, we could go ahead and add our rhinestone in the middle for the pupil and use some UV resin for the eye and cure it with our UV light. And then the eyes are done. The easiest part of the whole doll. And now for the shoes. So much like my Valentine's doll, I struggled to make the shoes. But because my partner is super awesome, he modeled me some boots that were basically molded onto the feet. We're going to paint the bottom of the shoe white for the base part of the shoe. And then for the top part, as you can see, I thought that color was purple. It looked purple, but when I painted on the shoe, it wasn't purple. So I had to make it purple because the shoes were definitely dark. So I had to make it dark purple, and just painted that on the top of the shoe. Let those dry after I did a couple coats, and I added a coat of resin on top of the shoes to give them a nice glass, nice shine. Also protect the shoe from rubbing or the paint rubbing off, especially around the joint area. We don't want the joints to rub off. No. Also, Cyyu has these cute little headphones, and they look like little windows in my opinion. So on the window pieces, we're gonna paint the edges gold because that's what they look like. They look like little windows. I don't think they're supposed to be windows, but they look like windows. Or little doors, depending on how you see it. But once that's dry, just to protect the paint, I clear coated it with resin. And now for the wig. Guys, let me tell you what, this was a struggle. I've never made a wig that like this. So get the bangs kind of the shape I want, I thinned them out with my thinning scissors, and I sprayed the hair with water and the hair glue spray stuff, and kind of just trim it up here. Trim it, yes, and then I spray it with the glue. And to hold the pieces in place, I used a heat gun to dry the hair quickly, and so it would hold, so the glue would dry quicker, because waiting for that to dry would take forever, but using a heat gun helps it stay in place. I had to watch a lot of cosplay videos to figure out what I was doing with the hair. This was the more difficult part. So for the model, he has like a kind of like a spiky kind of mullet thing going on. I'm probably not a mullet, but like spiky hair on the top of his long hair. And so I've never done this, and this is where I knew was not gonna go well for me, so I did my best. I faked it till I maked it, basically. So basically, if you want to make those spikes, it's best to have a crimper and then you tease it. I do not have a crimper. I will now be getting one to make the spikes. So they're not as fluffy spikes as they look on the model, but I tried my best. So I used a lot of spray glue and just cutting with scissors and tried to shape them the best way I could to make them look like the picture, which is not easy to do. And once again, I've never made even cosplay wigs before, so this was a first for me, and I did my best. I tried so hard. Also, at the time, this was like 3 o'clock in the morning, Sunday, the day before the day of the con. So I had like, I think 2 hours of sleep after while I was working on this, so, and then only 2 hours of sleep before going. So yes, this was definitely a struggle since I've never done wigs like this before, but now I have a better idea of what to do. I will be getting a crimper so I could tease it, because I just kind of try to make some spikes on the top with glue and the heat gun and scissors trying to shape them. I think they looked okay. I feel like they could have been better though. But next time, if I make something with spiky hair, I got this. It's definitely also because this is braiding here, so it's not as easy like if we were using yarn. I feel like yarn is very moldable. Braiding hair is not so much, unless you're like crimp it. I guess like crimp it, but I didn't have it. And now time for the face up, finally. This is probably my favorite part of the doll. So I blushed the face with a very light pink. I wanted to keep the face very soft, since it's just like try to keep it very neutral. I was trying to think of my words. So light pink dusting on the cheeks and the nose and forehead, because most of the blushing, that's what I'm trying. Blushing, yes, the blushing will be mostly around the eyes. So, and a light dusting of pink on the lips, because there's not VTubers don't really have very colorful lips sometimes. This doesn't. It's very just light. So I just did like a light pink on the lips, so you know they're there. And I blushed around the eyes with a darker pink, I guess a brighter pink, to kind of build up for the shadow. That has a nice transition, so it's not just like white and then purple. So I did transitioning pink, and we'll transition to purple. So now we can move on with the purples. I'm sorry guys, but blushing with the purple around the eyes here on the top and bottom lid of the face. Sorry, I'm also very tired while recording this video. I stayed up too late. So yeah, we're just gonna shade with the purple both sides on the upper and lower lid. And I like to use a fluffy brush, oh my god, fluffy brush in between pastels to kind of blend out the color. So that way it doesn't have like a very harsh edge. I like to make the edges very soft and then build up more color. And using a light brown pencil, I went ahead and lined the eyelid on the top there in the crease. I almost forgot to do that. I was supposed to do that before I did the pastels, but that's okay. I just need a light line. And after that, I sprayed her, and now we're darkening the pastel some more. I need a really purpley smoky eye for Cyyu here. Lots of purples, lots of kind of blending, going back and forth, and softening the edges. Adding still like a little bit of pink on the top of the purple. Blend it out. I still want that transition between the skin and the eyeshadow. I feel like that helps it to kind of... And for the eyebrows. So this was also, I think, a little difficult because he has white eyebrows. I tried, obviously you can see how I tried doing white, but that doesn't really look, it didn't really come out the way I want to. So I went over with a light gray and then just kind of added like a little bit of white on top later on. And now onto the third spray, I added some more purple and some more pink on the outer edges of purple. And now we can add the black, the very edge of the eyes on the top and bottom. Make the purple a little more smokier. I was trying not to get too much on there, so I was using little tiny tip things I found on it. And now to give him some eyeliner, I'm just gonna use some black acrylic paint and pray to God that I do not mess up. Because I didn't even draw it on, I just whooped it on. Once again, it was probably like 4 o'clock in the morning when I was working on this, and I was like, well, we're gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. I don't have time to draw it out, spray, and wait for it to dry. I wanted to go to bed at that point. So I got the eyeliners as even as I could on both sides. And now to add the eyelashes. Which surprisingly, I got them pretty thin on my first round. Like, I was very shocked about that. How pretty they came out. And also for his model, he has black lines going down on the face. So, alright, and now that the face is all done, let's go ahead and move on to showing off the pictures of the doll. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for coming out to my video today. I hope you guys really liked it. Let me know in the comments down below about how you feel about my female Cyyu custom doll. It was really cool that I got to gift him the doll in person, especially since he was at a con that was near me fairly recently. This is why I didn't get to record some of the things that I wanted to record, because I saw on Twitter he was leaving the con early and I was like, oh no. So I had to rush a few small details and rush to the con. Especially since I already bought tickets, and the only reason why I got tickets was because I wanted to meet him. So, yeah, that was a little stressful. there were some tears involved because I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna make it in time, and I just spent all this time working on this doll. Oh no. Um, but I did make it in time, and I think he liked it, so that was cool. He was really nice, and I was super nervous to meet him just because I'm a very nervous person. But it was really fun, and yeah. uh, I didn't get a lot of sleep that weekend, and as soon as I got home, I just conked out. That was it. That was done. I think I slept till 2 p.m. Monday. It's terrible. um, but I hope you liked it. And also, if you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell so you know when I have my next video up. Also, don't forget, I stream on Twitch Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So if you want to come hang out with me in the evenings, I will be on there playing random games. I don't sometimes be... I really like playing Lethal Company. That's really fun. So I might be playing that tonight. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you want to come hang out just to chit chat, I will be there in the evening time. Also, I noticed that I'm very close to 5K subscribers on YouTube. Yay! I'm so excited. You guys are so awesome, and I really appreciate all your guys' support so much. You guys are super amazing. With that being said, I apologize that I was supposed to make a giveaway doll at 1K, and then I kind of forgot and got busy, and I am so sorry. I deeply apologize for that. So I'm gonna make it up to you guys, and once we hit 5K, I'm gonna start working on giveaway dolls. So yeah, we're not gonna do one doll, we're gonna do 2 dolls. But so I'm going to make 2 custom resin dolls for you guys, and we'll have 2 winners for them. So one for the 1K and one for the 5K. And I hope you guys are super excited for that. So, all right, I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will see you next time. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.